I'm not going to do this one. I'm not going to make a video on this bullshit. Please look up the red heifer sacrifice so that I don't have to do this. I will, however, talk about whatever the fuck this was from CBS. Pay attention to this part.
The Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque, among the holiest sites in Islam. Today, only Muslims are allowed inside, but that's not stopping Jewish activists outside.
Once you got, you started here.
6 days a week, Melissa Jane Kronfeld leads groups from around the world who defiantly pray, as close as armed guards permit.
It's not about the destruction of Islamic holy sites. It is about preserving this place and being guardians over the house of God for all people.
So you're happy with it where it is?
No, it's going to go 100%, but I believe
it's going to go.
It's 100%, yeah. The whole thing is going to go. We have to build a temple.
Why is Chris from CBS calling these people Jewish activists? This white chick, Melissa, they call her MJ, please find me a Melissa who is indigenous to the Middle East, is disrespecting and defying internationally recognized and accepted security law for Al-Aqsa and antagonizing Muslim security at Al-Aqsa. Is very proudly and publicly discussing how this sacrifice of the red cows that you are going to read about so that I'm not forced to make a video on it will lead to the destruction of the third holiest site in Islam, which is Al-Aqsa compound. Since when the fuck are people like that considered activists? Because that sounds like the very definition of terrorist to me, and also to the dictionary.
But it's been enough to incite numerous Islamist groups. Hamas has dubbed its October 7 assault on Israel the Al-Aqsa Wave.
It is literally called Al-Aqsa Flood. 6 months in, and they can't even get the title of this operation correctly.
And has the Dome of the Rock on its emblem. But this is sacred ground to billions of Muslims globally, not just Hamas terrorists.
Big surprise. Guess who's labeled the terrorist? The people who are making sure the actual terrorists don't act on the terrorism they have been publicly stating they will be acting on very soon. I am so tired, man, of the fucking media. I am so tired. We should be protesting outside their offices just as much as we are protesting arms ships and roads and bridges and outside our politicians' offices. They have such a massive role in manufacturing consent for the slaughter of my friends and family. This is terrorism. We very much need to normalize Jewish terrorism the way this world has normalized terrorism from every other religion. In fact, it was an act of Jewish terrorism in Palestine over 75 years ago that literally shifted the global public opinion and understanding of what terrorism is and how it can be used to garner international attention and support for a cause. And that act of terrorism was the bombing of the King David Hotel in Palestine in 1946. And if you don't know what that is, it was a famous hotel that was known for being a meeting point for British occupation forces to use during the British occupation of Palestine and discuss whatever colonizers discuss. The hotel was bombed by the internationally recognized Jewish terrorist group, the Irgun, which, if you don't know who they are, they later joined forces with 2 other internationally recognized Jewish terrorist groups and formed what is today called the Israeli Defense Force. And the bombing of that hotel literally became a milestone in the evolution of the internationalization of terrorism. And the bombing of that hotel is also what led to the British occupation deciding it was time to pull out of Palestine and transfer power to the Zionist entity that we are dealing with today. So it has been a cycle, a nearly 8-decade cycle of Palestinians experiencing extremist Jewish terrorism that nobody wants to talk about because it makes people uncomfortable. But my people are dying, and that makes me more uncomfortable than your discomfort. When are we done with religious zealots running this world?